What's good, YouTube? It's time for a vlog, and listen, it's been a long time, and throughout this time, have I been lifting at all? No. And as a result, I've lost a shit ton of gains. But since I've been able to get access to a private, undisclosed location gym, I've been back to it starting a little bit earlier, as gyms haven't actually opened up here. So I'm gonna show you how I'm getting my gains back. As you see, they're starting to come back, all right? I'm gonna show you what they looked like, what they look like now, and what they're gonna look like in like 3 months. With that said, it is, you guessed it, I doubt you guessed it, but it is 4:19. Let's see if I can show you this here. 4:19 a.m. And that's right, we're back on the 4 a.m. grind. All right, ain't nobody stopping this. As you see, the world is asleep. All right, now I'm gonna show you my calories and macros and how I've basically increased my calories and macros by 700-800 while staying lean and mean. So I'm gonna show you all that through the day. It's been a while since I've done a vlog, so I'm super pumped to be back. So to start it off, some things never change. We got a banana, we got a protein shake, we got a liter of water. So I'm gonna be eating this stuff, and then it's time to hit the gym at around 5, and guess what? It's a leg day today. So looking forward to that. So it's actually been so long since I've been back on YouTube, which I am coming back now, full time. So I hope you're ready for it. But I upgraded the car for the time being. Got the STI now though. And for the next probably year, 2 years, before the real upgrades start coming, you know what I'm saying? Alright guys, so it is 6:30 a.m. Now one of the things, the actual reason why I'm waking up this early to hit the gym is because the only way that I am able to hit this gym, I had a deal with the guy who owns it, is as long as I come in from 5 a.m. to 6:30, then I can, you know, it's all mine basically. So finished up 6:30, did a leg day today, and my volume has been increasing like crazy. Obviously, last week was my first official week of starting lifting, so I was extremely weak. I've taken videos of it, you'll see my lifts. Last week I was back squatting 185 for sets of 8, and the last set was 195, 3 sets of 8, and that's it to start acclimating. Today I was able to jump that up to 225 for sets of 8, felt pretty good. Stiff leg deads 225, lunges, all that stuff, so I'm not sore anymore from the workouts, so I'm basically already back to that. However, the physique needs to catch up, and that's what I'm going to show you next. But first, let's go home. I got to shower and get ready for the day. Alright guys, post shower physique update. Now I actually, in this film right now, I'm not looking much different than what I was prior to this whole quarantine, but here's the deal. I weigh 205 pounds. Last time I was 205 pounds, last year, you may recall, I was shredded to the bone, okay? You could see my abs without flexing. Now, I still have quite a bit down here. Legs lost a lot of size, but here's the thing, since I started lifting, I started making all these gains back. My arms are now 16 inches, whereas they usually are 17 inches. So 16 and a half to 17 inches at my most shredded. So I'm not as shredded and my arms are smaller, okay? Now here's the deal, is they were even smaller a week ago, all right? My shoulders were melting a week ago, but it's all coming back now very quickly. You'll see the legs now are starting to come back. Okay, obviously I just hit legs, but still, the gains are coming back. And so I'm gonna explain to you today and show you, as I keep eating, how I not only am jacking my calories up by like 800 calories a day, but how I'm actually going about putting on this muscle, you know, in half the time that it took me to lose it, and how I'm actually going to leapfrog ahead into my best physique as a result. So with that said, All right, it's breakfast time. This is what we got. First and foremost, we have mini wheats. Okay, you're gonna notice I've been having the same breakfast for a couple of years now, just because I love it, it works, and you know, this breakfast is also post-workout meal. So this is about 75 grams of mini wheats. I didn't track it. I've been doing it for so long. I understand roughly what it looks like, and I'm not concerned considering I just blasted a big leg day. Over here, I actually just finished putting lemon in this 2 liter of water, and I'm gonna tell you how much water I'm drinking in a bit here. This is the power shake that you've seen me. I've made the actual recipe on the channel. You can check it out right here. If you haven't seen it yet, I've got a green tea over here, and also I brought these two. So I meal prep for 2 weeks at a time now, and so all my meals for this week, since I've already eaten the meals from last week, are in the freezer, and I pulled them out one day before. I forgot to do it last night, so what I'll do is I just leave them out here and they thaw out. By the time it's lunch to have the first meal, it's typically thawed out pretty well. All right, so we are over here at the desk. I'm going to be laying out all of my calories and macros for all of these meals, and basically my calories and macros for at least the next few weeks as I go about rebuilding and getting back to where I was previously and then surpassing it. What I need to do first is I'm over here at the desk. I have to start up on my client work. After this, at lunchtime, after I eat lunch, show you what that is, I will break down on the whiteboard for you my exact plan as to how I'm getting back to it and how you can too if you lost significant amounts of gains, or even if you're just trying to leapfrog ahead of where you are now. The advice is gonna help you regardless. So with that said, I do have to start up on some client work. The business has been growing massively, as maybe you've known from some of the previous videos I've dropped. If you are looking for fat loss coaching, most specifically, it also includes mindset. We target training, muscle gain at the same time as fat loss, however the primary goal being fat loss. If you find yourself stuck right now and you're looking for a coach, our coaching program and my coaching company is the top of the class. So make sure you follow the instruction in the description below and in the comment section if you want to reach out to me, and we can see if we'd be a good fit to get you into our coaching program, help you see those results. So with that said, I will be tending to my clients now as I eat this breakfast, and I will check in with you in a bit with the entire plan laid out for you. All right, see you soon. I finished up on my client work, my lead generation for the business early today, and I have my content all prepped for my Instagram and my platforms to deliver to my clients and my followers. So I actually finished early, and lunch is gonna go down in about 30 minutes. So I'll show you that, but before that, I'm gonna break down the current plan as to how I'm gonna be gaining my gains back. But first, check out this view. It's a beautiful day outside today. Toronto, Canada. Okay, there's Toronto. We are right beside it. Beautiful day out here. Okay, gotta start getting my tan on as I get them gains back. But anyways, let me set the camera up for you right here. And I want to break down this exact strategy. Now, keep in mind, I will be coming out with an entire video basically covering in depth my training and everything, including the diet broken down even further, my methodology behind it. But for the purpose of this vlog, I'm just going to run you through some of the things right here. I want to make sure that you can see this. So we're going to talk about my diet basically. All right, move this once more. Okay, so my previous situation, my current situation, and why, how I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to move this back a little bit there. All right, so previous situation, I actually stopped lifting entirely for the last 3 weeks. Before last week, it was like 3 weeks that I went no lifting at all. And the main reason for that is because I was actually dealing with some shoulder pain from doing so many push-ups, because that's really all I could do. I have this pull-up bar. I was doing pull-ups, and I have these push-up stands, push-ups, and abs. Basically, that was all I was able to do whenever I was lifting for the prior 1.5 to 2 months. And when it comes to legs, I literally just stopped doing legs altogether, because I said, you know what? What's even the point if I'm doing, I need to do 1,000 reps of something to get the same stimulation I would off one set of a heavy squat. You know what I mean? So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna cut the legs. I'll deload the legs, all right? So I wasn't lifting for at least 3 weeks at one point, but any lifting I was doing before that was really useless anyways. But I was running 5 5K twice a week. Sometimes it was 3 times a week, but it was twice a week I was running 5 kilometers. Okay, I would run around here. I had my own path, and I worked up to just under 24 minutes, or around 24-minute 5K, which wasn't bad because it was a while since I started running those. So I got back on that at least to keep my cardio, my energy levels up higher. I was also doing stretching and mobility every day because, again, I figured, you know what, I'm going to take this time to heal my body as much as possible. Here is what my calories and macros were previously. I was literally, as of a week and 3 days ago, I was eating 2,400 calories at 180 grams of protein, which is 30%, 66 grams of fat, which is 25%, and 330 grams of carbs, which is 45%. Now, staying within this is extremely low for me. If you've been following me for a while here, this is low. However, I'm surprised that by doing this, I was able to maintain, leanness still. I was actually getting leaner, but I lost a lot of weight because it wasn't body fat, it was muscle mass that I was losing. As you saw by the physique update, I'm the same weight that I was last year, but way less lean. However, that's going to change real soon. So this is what I was staying at. I wasn't tracking that much. I was basically eyeballing, but these were the numbers I was heading for when I was trying to hit them. Now, my current situation, I'm starting to lift 4 times a week now as of last week. Already my second session of the week today with my leg day that I had. So I'm lifting 4 times a week. I'm working cardio back in, so I'm actually not running anything like 5Ks yet because I needed to let the soreness adjust, or my body adjust to the soreness. And I'm doing stretching and mobility training 3+ times a week. So I want to keep that steady as always. Now check this out. My calories and macros have bumped up about 750 on a day-to-day basis, simply from lifting 4 times a week heavier weights. And now that I'm lifting more and more volume very rapidly, as I'm going to explain in another video, these calories are likely going to keep increasing as I stay roughly the same body weight. So right now I'm at 3,150 calories, 230 grams of protein, so it still stays at 30%, but because calories are so much higher, I'm at 230 grams of protein, 365 grams of carbs, which is almost the same. It's almost the same split, okay? And 85 grams of fat, 24% instead of 25, not a big deal. The point here is this. All of this I'm doing, these numbers, along with shifting back into lifting and acclimating into lifting heavier and heavier weight, is going to lead to me recompositioning and gaining my strength back. So I'll give you an example. When I started my first lifting session, okay, I'm going to post, no I can't because I'll post it once gyms open back up, but I was bench pressing, flat bench, 155 pounds for 8 paused reps. That's terrible considering maybe 5 months ago I was doing 270 for sets of 5, okay, which means I could do like 250 for sets of 8. So it's a 100-pound decrease on my bench press. But the good news is I benched for the second time since yesterday, and I did 185 for sets of 8. And it was getting easier. So strength begins blasting up extremely quickly. I need to eat more to fuel all these muscle gains that are gonna start coming back. So all of this energy that I'm inputting into my body is not being stored as body fat. In fact, I'm still likely in a slight deficit, but the weight gain I'm seeing is transference over into muscle mass, whereas my body in its normal state at this body weight, 205, is way leaner. What I'm gonna start doing is literally shifting my body composition to where my body, because I've got 12 years, almost 12 years of a foundation of experience of lifting, is going to start shifting its body fat and literally taking energy from the body fat, putting it towards the rebuilding of the muscle alongside these extra calories that help with my recovery, gaining more strength. Last week, my first squat session back, I squatted 185 for sets of 8. Today I did 225 for sets of 8. That's a 40-pound increase in a week. Obviously, I started a little bit lighter last week, but please believe I was dying when I did that 185 by 8. It was not easy. Okay, that used to be my second warm-up set. It was my working set. Today, it was my second warm-up set, and my third set was my working set at 225. I used to squat 275 for sets of 12 or sets of 15 even. So right now I'm doing 225 for sets of 8. This is not discouraging. It's just a natural part of the process, and in fact, I'm in a position where I will essentially be gaining muscle at the rate that somebody who naturally is taking steroids. Naturally taking steroids, that doesn't make much sense, but you get it. Somebody who's just normally taking steroids, I'm gonna see progress that rapidly, if not even more rapidly, due to the muscle memory effect. So, with all that explanation, I hope it makes sense. Like I said, I'll be dropping a full video on my transformation. You're gonna see how insane recompositioning can be, especially if you have, look, 11 years of hard work ain't going nowhere. Next, it is time for lunch. Let me warm this stuff up, get everything prepped, and I'll show you what it is. We got 11:02 lunchtime. I have 35 grams of walnuts. I have 1.5 cups of quinoa. Typically I would prep 1 cup, now it's 1.5 to boost the calories, to meet the carbs. And we've got 200 grams of trout right here. Okay, these two things to start off lunch, but then I typically have a snack. Got some Jiffy peanut butter in here. This is the fun part about getting more calories in. We get to fit in other foods that we love. So this is what I have for now. I'll show you the rest of it and then the calories and macros on the screen after. All right, so just shortly after eating lunch, as you see, 20 minutes, I just finished eating lunch over there. Now I'm gonna have this snack, okay, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, 2 of them, Jiffy creamy peanut butter. We've got this raspberry jam over here. This is just regular Dempster's white bread, and I didn't actually weigh this stuff out because, well, I've got so much room to play with while I'm in this regaining phase that I don't even have to worry about these little measurements just yet. So that's what I'm having right now. But what I did put into my Fitness Pal, I'll put up on the screen in combination with the last thing that I showed you. And let's keep moving. Okay, it is just before 3 p.m. I've had a couple coaching calls, and now I've actually got a call with my own business coach, which I have been with for a little while now, and he has definitely helped me grow and expand my business to heights unforeseen by me, at least this quickly. So super excited about that. But first, it's time to have dinner. This is likely the last meal of the day. Super high protein. This is what it looks like. So we've got turkey, okay, lean ground turkey in there at the bottom there, as well as 1.5 cups of rice, and I like to add these olives, so stuffed manzilla olives, to it for a little bit more taste. We also have 2 cups of egg whites. So we're talking an entire one of these was just cooked up right here. 2 cups of egg whites. Again, super high protein, and high protein, I'm probably actually gonna increase my protein because higher protein is associated in almost across the board when it comes to studies. Higher protein intake, it's not necessary to build muscle, not at all. However, it is associated with, when compared to a lower protein diet, though both still meeting the minimum requirements, a preferred, better, optimal body composition. So I want to recomposition as quickly as possible. I'm gonna probably increase protein more than normal. So what I gotta do now is I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna have the call with my coach. I went for a walk earlier today, just at around 12 p.m. So after I ate, I went for a walk around here. Nice day out. It's summer now. I'm gonna be doing a lot more things outside, hanging out with people now that this quarantine is pretty much done, and enjoying the nice weather, the summer, while still making gains in all areas of life. So with that said, I went for a walk, burned some extra calories. I'm gonna finish off with these calories here. I'm gonna check in with you guys in a bit. I've got another call later on, and then I'll check in with you at around 5 p.m. So see you then. Well, it has been a long ass day, as it usually is when you're waking up at 4 and going non-stop until it's only 7:40, but you get the point. That's still a long day, okay? Place a little bit of a mess. Finished up all my calls, finished up everything else I had to do for the business, and since I'm not working out tomorrow, okay, Wednesdays are rest day for me at the moment, I get to go to sleep a little bit later, wake up a little bit later. But tomorrow morning I will likely go for a 5K. I don't think my legs are gonna be that sore just because my body's becoming a machine already. Listen guys, I wanna tell you about my final calories and macros as we enjoy the rest of the day outside today. Like I said, I went for a walk earlier. That was super nice. All right, so calories and macros for the day. Let me tell you what they are. So the goal, like I mentioned to you previously, 31:45 for the day. I ended up hitting. Macros look like the following. So protein I hit 240 grams, carbs I hit 372 grams, and fats I hit 91 grams. So pretty much on point with the macro percentages. Calories a little higher than they were supposed to be, but again, it's because I crushed a huge leg day earlier today, went for the walk, all that stuff. Been a pretty active day in general. So, you know, I figured it was justified to have a few more calories. So with that said, that's going to conclude the day, and that is a basic rundown as to how I'm getting back to where I was previous to this whole quarantine situation, where I basically, you know, lost a ton of muscle. I didn't show you a weigh-in this morning, I just realized, but you're gonna have to take my word for it. I was 205 pounds this morning. Unfortunately, not the same as 205 pounds last year on the same morning, but again, that's gonna change. I'm gonna come up with a full video explaining exactly what I'm doing A to Z and show you the actual progress transformation pictures and show you how you can do the same thing, especially if you're in my situation. So that's it guys for this video. Feels good to be back to the vlogs. Hope you all enjoyed it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.